the town of Pawlet on March 5 of 2021 and affirmed by the Vermont Superior Court on January 14th of 2022. On February 8th of 2023, following the show cause hearing on the town's motion for contempt, the court found the respondent, Daniel Bonnier, in contempt of the court's March 5th order and set forth a compliance schedule to give the respondent a final opportunity to bring his property into compliance. The respondent has failed to do so. As such, imprisonment is an appropriate coercive remedy in these circumstances. Therefore, by the authority of the state of Vermont, any sheriff or constable in this state is directed to arrest Daniel Bonnier and remit him to the custody of the Commissioner of Corrections to be thereafter confined until he or the town causes the subject property to be brought into compliance with the March 5, 2021 order as described in the February 8, 2023 contempt order to the court's satisfaction. This minimus shall be served within 60 days of issuance hereof and not thereafter. Fail not, but service and return make according to law. The finding of contempt. By its orders dated February 8th of 23 and July 6th of 2023, the court found Daniel Bonnier in the above entitled case in contempt of court for failure to comply with a lawful court order. To any law enforcement officer of the state of Vermont, you shall take Daniel Bonnier in the above entitled case and commit him to the Commissioner of Corrections or an authorized representative. And then to the Commissioner of Corrections, you shall receive Daniel Bonnier, and he shall remain in your custody until he purges himself of contempt by bringing the subject property into compliance with the court's March 5, 21 order, as described in the court's February 8, 23 contempt order. As consistent with the July 6, 2023 order, the court appoints the town of Pawlet to bring the property into compliance at the cost of Mr. Bonnier. Nothing in the July 6, 2023 order prevents Mr. Bonnier from causing his contractors or agents to bring the property into compliance sooner. Mr. Bonnier will be released upon demonstration that the property has been brought into compliance either by the town or his agents. In addition to any other legal rights and remedies available to Mr. Bonnier, he shall be entitled to review of the contempt proceedings annually. The Commissioner of Corrections shall provide timely notice for the review of the proceedings and any person so imprisoned to the sentencing court. The sentencing court shall conduct a hearing and issue its order within 60 days of receipt of the notice of the Commissioner of Corrections. This was electronically signed at Newfane, Vermont, on today's date, pursuant to VREF 9 Delta. And the communist judge is Thomas S. Durkin, Superior Court, Environmental Division. So what do we have here? We have a man who has his own property in the United States of America, who built some buildings and 2 firing ranges on his own property in Pawlet, Vermont. Well, they didn't like that there. The neighbors complained because you could hear gunshots and people would train there and, you know, that freedom shit. Don't like that in Vermont. There's a bunch of crunchy Bernie Sanders and, Ben and Jerry type people up there, and they don't like that freedom stuff. It scares them. Ooh, so scary. So he has been ordered several times to dismantle all quote-unquote illegal structures on his property, and he has refused to do so. He's a free man in America, and the town is ordering him to take down things on his property because he didn't get a permit. Now, on that permit thing, he did apply for the permit, paid $400 cash for that. In fact, here's a copy of it. That was all the way back on June 4th of 2018. And I'm told that a permit was issued, but then it was revoked somehow. Nobody knows why. Maybe because they don't want him there. But the town has been fighting to get him and his property taken care of. Now, so the judge issued a warrant. They want him arrested and thrown into custody until they raze the property. They destroy the illegal buildings that he didn't have permits for and the firing ranges. They want to bring that property into compliance. That's America, the land of the free and the home of the brave. as long as you do what they say. Daniel's been facing fines of $200 a day, and ultimately they're going to go arrest him, or at least try to, and put him away until they bulldoze his property. I want to know what you think about that, Mr. and Mrs. America. What do you think about the little town of Pollitt playing small town politics? Ooh, one of the people, I don't know if this person's still on the board because the video I watched is old, but he was before the board, and yeah, he says that one of the people on the board is employed by the biggest opposition to his property. That sounds like an ethics violation. Small town politics, small town Pollitt, Vermont, and we have one of us, one of our own, somebody who loves America, loves freedom, loves the Second Amendment, and chooses to shoot on his own property. He's probably going to be going to jail until they destroy his property. And then